Hi, I'm Bob Ross, and for the next 13 weeks, I'll be your host as we experience the joy of painting.
His kind personality and soothing ASMR voice made Bob Ross one of the most beloved figures in TV history. But behind the scenes, it wasn't all sunshine and happy little trees.
Do you do portraits?
Not very well. I do mostly trees and bushes.
Yeah, you do a great bush and a great tree.
Before becoming a painter, Bob Ross served as a drill sergeant in the U.S. Air Force.
I'm asking questions here, Private. Do you understand? Sir, yes, sir. Well, thank you very much.
This is how he described his 20-year-long military career.
I was the guy who made you scrub the taurine, the guy who made you make your bed, the guy who screams at you for being late to work. I promised myself if I ever got away from it, it wasn't going to be that way anymore.
And indeed, Ross followed through on this promise.
And I used to come home, take off my little soldier hat, and put on my painter's hat.
Speaking of hats, Bob's afro is as iconic as he is, so it might surprise people to learn that it wasn't his natural hair. When he was younger and struggled financially, he began to perm his hair to save money on haircuts. The afro became a part of his brand, so much so that he couldn't get rid of it even if he wanted to.
And he couldn't change that because we'd made a logo out of it.
He hated his hair, but it was his trademark, and it really bothered him.
His TV show was a hit from the moment it aired in 1983. The premise was simple. Ross would complete a painting in 30 minutes and guide the viewers at home through their own paintings.
If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your brushes and your paints and paint along with us each show. I think you'll enjoy it.
He was known for his signature technique called wet on wet.
Take it off. And just beat the devil out of it.
But this technique wasn't as unique as he made it seem.
I hand over now that almighty brush to almighty man, and that is Bob Ross.
He learned it from a painter by the name of Bill Alexander, who appeared on TV years earlier.
I learned this fantastic technique from a wonderful man, Bill Alexander. And Bill taught me this many years ago.
As Ross's popularity grew, the relationship became strained. They turned into enemies, and by the 90s, Ross wouldn't even mention him by name.
As for Alexander, he said, I invented Wet on Wet. I trained him and he's copying me. What bothers me is not just that he betrayed me, but that he thinks he can do it better.
Bill Alexander also claimed that Ross copied some of his catchphrases, including happy little something.
All of a sudden, you got a nice, happy little painting.
Maybe there's a happy little cloud lives right there. And all
Ross passed away in 1995 at only 52 years old. His sudden death came as a surprise to his fans, since his year-long battle with cancer was kept private. In the 30 years that passed, his legacy has been a subject of legal contention. A documentary titled Happy Accidents, Betrayal, and Greed delves into the controversies surrounding his legacy. Don't worry, Bob didn't do anything too bad. His wholesome reputation remains intact. The movie deals with the legal battles over the control of his brand, Bob Ross Inc. The main players are his son, Steve.
Thanks, Dad. Hi, glad you could join me.
On the other side are Bob's business partners, Annette and Walt Kowalski. After Bob Ross's death, the Kowalskis took control of the rights to his name, likeness, and the Joy of Painting series. The Kowalskis maintained control over the brand and continued to profit from it, including merchandise and reruns of the show.
The Kowalskis have also approved his image to be featured on products like clothing, costumes, chia pets, puzzles, soaps, coloring books, and other items.
Steve claims that his father's name and image have been exploited against his dying wishes. Audio tapes detailing Ross's wishes were even ordered to be destroyed in a 2017 lawsuit.
The Kowalskis made millions of dollars from, I would say, exploiting his name and image.
There were legal disputes over the ownership of Ross's paintings and other physical objects, even the palette he used on television. After a lengthy process, Steve regained some right to his father's name. While some of the legal matters have been settled, the moral question of who should control Ross's legacy remains a topic of debate.
I think we'll call that finished. And I want to thank you very, very much for watching us. I hope to see you again in the near future.